I'm super excited to be here today, and I want to thank you all for coming and attending this wonderful workshop. I travel around the world teaching people how to build social media, but I want you to imagine what it would be like if you were able to buy property the year you were born in New York City for $0. This is how people need to think about social media. It's free. There is zero real estate. It is your opportunity to market and grow. I have more subscribers on Instagram than the entire town or city of Trumbull, Connecticut. Avon, Connecticut has 17,000 members where I'm speaking right now. I have double that. I have more subscribers than in my hometown of Glastonbury, Connecticut. And I'm gonna walk you through a simple process of how I built this by following several simple steps: creating curiosity, creating open loop, creating drama, and closing with a call to action. And there's many ways that writers, I see as an associate literary agent with Talcott Notch Literary LLC, so many writers are great at writing, but they're not great on writing on social media. And this is where you need to build your platform. You need to develop yourself as a thought leader within your specific genre and niche down. So I'm gonna walk you through a journey of how 3 years ago this month, I had 2,000 followers on Instagram. I had 40 followers on YouTube. Now I have over 90K. If I can do it, you can do it. But it requires persistency. It requires consistency. So in this presentation, I want you to think about stepping out of your comfort zone. But I also want you to know that this is my niche, and my story isn't for everybody. So you need to make it your own story so that you have people playing in your sandbox. But today, this is everybody's sandbox. So please feel free to take notes. You can re-watch this on YouTube, and then afterwards we're going to go over some in-depth questions you may have, how you can grow and build your platform. Enter the world of sell yourself without selling out your dignity. This is something I'm really big on. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. There are several things that are known to you as an author. You have the date on your grave when you were born, and then there's the date you die. What you do in between is up to you, but that's never on your tombstone. So you need to think about that going forward as you're creating your legacy. And we're gonna talk about what I'm doing. Share your story, don't sell. Okay, storytelling is people will buy into you. Like what Brian Judd said, he no longer does book signings. He does book events. Because people don't wanna come to have you sign a book. They want to come to hear you talk and lecture, and they will buy the book later. But there's multiple ways that you can generate money online and through using social media platform, and I'm going to cover those briefly today. Always use your intention. Now, this example of this t-shirt that you see here, this is something that a company approached me several years ago about doing, because I stole that book and did not realize that they gave away for free. And I'm going, I don't want to read this racist, sexist, blah, blah, blah. But that was because I judged a book by a cover. Now it's made a marketing, it's become my trademark. Like, oh, wait a minute. So 33.4% of my followers are from the planet of Utah. So when I land in Utah to speak, I can't even walk through the airport without paparazzi. Or people going, wait, are you the, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, oh, can I get a picture? I'm like, sure. So it's just, you have to be approachable. And that's what it's all about. So this is August 2020. That's my Instagram profile. What's circled in yellow is the followers that I have, 2,112. That right there in purple is your primary real estate. And you're gonna see how that changes over the next couple of years, because I learned to evolve with the situation. Okay, 2022, 19,600, circled in red. Now, if you notice, I didn't have the blue check mark. Does anybody know what the blue check mark is? No. Okay, that means that you're verified like Marie Osmond or Madonna or Lady Gugu or whatever her name is. That you can't be cheated. You know, meaning because people will create fake accounts. So people were creating fake accounts, but there wasn't a Wikipedia page. There wasn't a Google Knowledge panel. There wasn't all the news articles in Fox or ABC or NBC about myself. So I did not have a blue check mark, but you're going to notice that shortly. So, and that's why I wrote official IG page. Don't follow fake/fan accounts. Because I had a situation where if you typed in my name on Instagram, how many Dennis Schleichers are there? Well, there's 3 in the US, go figure. But it's a German name, so there was a lot in Germany. But then all of a sudden, all these fake accounts started showing up with no followers, no face picture, and I knew that they were waiting to scoop in, replace it with my face, screenshot a few of my profile, and then start DMing my followers saying, I'm stuck in an airport, can you send me a gift card? You know, which I would never do over DM. If I was stuck in an airport, I'd call you. So that's where you want to not follow through on this. Okay, and this is my account August 2023. 36,500. So there are 32,000 people that live in Glastonbury, Connecticut, and there are 36,000 that live in Trumbull, which is a large city. So I have more followers, and first of all, I don't consider them followers, I consider them friends, because I don't want somebody to think like they're following somebody, because you have to have humility when it gets to this. So this is my key takeaway. You want to use drama, conflict, open loop, and curiosity when posting. I have an author friend, she's my best friend. We have a talk show together on my YouTube channel called Keeping It Real. She'll share a thing on Facebook and she'll go, watch this. I'm like, nobody wants to do that. You have to pull them in. And you have so many characters that you can do that with. Because like I said, that circled in yellow right there is my prime real estate. That is the first thing you see when you go to my page. It's all you have. Okay, so let's continue. It's all about the engagement. Engagement is key. My highest reel on Instagram had almost 9 million views. Holy stars! 9 million! So I'm going to teach you, people say like, comment, share, save. That's the little save button. Then it goes share, it's a little airplane, comment. So you see that post with my friend Marie, it's had 1,300 likes, 119 comments, 16 shares, and 44 saves. Let me teach you the algorithm. It's all about saves are worth more than shares. Shares are worth more than comments. Comments are worth more than likes. It's better to have somebody save and share your content than it is to comment and like. Because that shows the algorithm that you're putting some effort into it. Now, if you get somebody to do all 4, you've kicked that algorithm. You've boosted that performance. But you all have to start somewhere. How about when you open a Word document and you have an idea for a novel and you just get blah, 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 you blur everything out. And then all of a sudden you're standing there staring at the screen going, now what? It's the same with social media. You need to be consistent and it will pay off. Because imagine having, you know, 250,000 people on all platforms that you now have an audience, and you're getting agencies that want to represent you, and you're getting endorsement deals, and you're getting all these different things as a content creator or an expert within your genre. This is why it's important to niche down. And I'm going to explain how I made this huge mistake on YouTube. Because I went from 1,200 subscribers to 150,000 overnight with this silly video I posted. And then all of a sudden, for a year, I was like a fish flapping out of water going, okay, 90% of my subscribers are now in Indonesia, India, Malaysia, like, and they all want to watch the stupid cartoons. And I'm like, I am a literary agent. I am a comedian. I am an author. Now I have all these people that are like watching these things that I can't even pronounce because they show you in analytics. And so I'm going, what do I do? So I finally decided I got a niche down. And I had to take my own advice. But so you can see here circled in green, Marie, when I saw her concert last year, I posted a video of her singing. She's really belting it. 600,000 views. The most I've ever had with a reel on YouTube was 20 million. But I deleted it because that's the one that got me all those subscribers from countries I couldn't even pronounce. And it was, but that's okay. So these are the different types of influencers. And I want you to pay close attention. I apologize, I'm not good. I have an assistant now, but I'm not good at making these PowerPoint things. As you can see, I couldn't even set this thing up without all of your assistance and prayers. So nano influencer, 1,000 to 10,000 followers or subscribers. This is where companies like Kellogg's, Clorox, Pine Sol are looking at investing their money. Because they can offer, let's say, 1,000 people. If they have a $100,000 budget, they can offer 1,000 nano influencers $1,000 to promote their content. Or they could spend it on someone like myself, which would be 50,000. And they would only get 2 people. What's better way to get a bang for your buck is to disperse it amongst 1,000 nano influencers. Smaller people, because they have more engagement. They are more personable with their audience. It may be a food vlogger in Avon, Connecticut, who has a high engagement rate because she's focusing on let's say, like ice cream parlors and restaurants and things that are independently owned. And she's got such a great engagement. So these companies like Clorox or Kellogg's are going to want to invest in her because they get more return on their buck because she's more believable than someone like myself who is on stage. Or let's say like the Kardashians that just are like looking to get that next sensational thing. Then you have micro-influencers, that's 10K to 100K. Now, what you can't see here is it says at the bottom, it's kind of hard to read, but it says 100,000 plus followers, personal brand advocates who share their online. 10,000 plus is highly trusted within a focused niche. 20K plus is professionals like journalists, business leaders, and subject matters. It could be authors like yourself. Does anybody here have more than 20K followers on any site? Okay, that's fine. We all have to start somewhere. 100K is trusted stars like celebrities that, you know, like my friend Marie. She's like, I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds on Nutrisystem. That's what she's known for. The younger generation doesn't know who she is, but they know her for that because she's raised over $9 billion for the Children's Miracle Network, for a hospital, for children that can't afford treatment. And when she walks in to visit those children, they're like, who are you? And she's like, I lost 50 pounds on Nutri. Oh yeah, I know who you are. So you got to think like Marie. What are you going to be known for? I'm known for several things. Holler! That's what I do. I don't know why it just got pointed out to me. Hello, hee, hoo, this is fun. And that was done by a brand agency when I did a branded partnership for somebody on YouTube. I was doing a face mask and I put on this head towel and I put this towel around and I went, hello, hee, hoo, this is fun. So, real men use mask. And the thing went viral. And they said, that's your thing. You are like the modern day Mrs. Doubtfire. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. That's what gets me the most subscribers and followers, is I run around with a towel around my head, and I'm like, oh, ain't nobody got time for that. You know, like, and being really like, you have got to be kidding me. How did I go from professional literary agent to that? And, you know, but now Walmart wants me to go shopping. And, you know, Home Depot wants me to make an appearance. And I'm like, I can barely keep this thing on. And I'm always bursting at the seams. But now I'm having fun with it. And you gotta do what you enjoy. Now, let's go to the do's and don'ts of social media. And this is something I've learned the hard way because I've done all the don'ts. Okay, I have done all the don'ts. Okay, don't share links that take you off your page. This is huge with Facebook, excuse me. Whenever I share a YouTube video and I put it in the description, I know I'm only gonna get a few people that comment and like. But when I put it in the comments and pin it to the top, it does much better. Because Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook. They don't want you to go to YouTube, the second largest search engine in the world, owned by Google. So think about this. Don't mass tag or spam. What is that? That's where you can go back here. Whenever I do a post, you can see, I can tag people. Like I can tag my friend Marie in that video. And usually what she'll do is share it in her stories. And that is great for engagement. But it's all about the engagement. But what you don't want to do is I don't want to tag all my friends in that aren't in there. And this happens to me all the time, is people will tag me on things thinking that because I have a large follower base that it will show up in my feed. It doesn't. It shows up in a little box way off in the corner that you have to go out of your way to find. And a lot of times I don't even see it because I go on social media to post and I get off. I'm not there to see what you're all doing. I'm there to just post. Now, 10 years ago, I was on Facebook to see what you were doing. But that's because I wasn't up here, I was down here. So where do you want to be? Do you want to be down here looking at everybody, or do you want to be up here posting and being that thought leader? So don't mass tag. Ask your friends to write and share reviews publicly. I belong to an influencer group, and we have a group text. There's 10 of us. And if there's something that we think is going to take off, we'll share it in that group text, and they'll know immediately to go to Instagram, like, comment, save, share. Because that, in the first 10 minutes of that post, that's creating that yump. And now Instagram tells me that I can see, there's a video that I posted the other day, it's like 7 seconds long. It's had over 600 watch hours. 600 watch hours. So imagine that. Avoid controversy at all costs. Controversy never wins. Okay, how did I build YouTube? Basically just covered that. But this is where I believe the money is. But I wouldn't be on YouTube if it wasn't for, oh, see, there I am with a towel at a farm, a sheep farm in South Glastonbury. And I'm like, oh, there's sheep everywhere, now what do I do? And yeah, so I'm like, that's me with the towel on my head, okay? Yeah, it's really, that's what's going on, that's what's going viral. Now, so it basically is consistency, and you do not want to burn out. But how I built this was, it was just consistency, persistency, consistency. Wash, repeat, rinse. Whenever somebody's going to give up, they're just about to make it. So you don't want to give up. You need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours of long content on YouTube to qualify for their YPP, YouTube Partner Program. It's estimated that, that this is how you make the thousands per month. This is how YouTubers make it. And my friend Angela Johnson is a Regency romance author. She decided to put all of her audiobooks on YouTube. And she's making a killing because she's making more money off the YouTube partner program because they pay us 55% of every ad dollar. So if you have a business and you want to advertise on Google, plumbing in Avon, Connecticut, or let's say you're a naturopathic doctor, and you advertise on YouTube, you pay YouTube $1 to advertise in Avon, Connecticut. They pay the content creator, myself, if that ad shows up on my video in your town that you're targeting, I get 55 cents of that dollar. That's a lot of money. And it adds up. So imagine every time you see those ads and it says, do you want to skip? You have to wait so many seconds before you can skip it. They're paying that content creator for that ad.
Do you want us to hold our questions?
Hold the questions because I'm gonna get through this and then we'll have 15 minutes and I want to really dive deep into your questions. So this is where the money is. Okay, what's cross-promoting and how does it benefit you? A lot of authors think it's about me, 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 me. No, it's not. It's about you, 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 you. What can I do for you? You're going to see an example of cross-promoting. Another friend of mine who's an author, all she does is promote, my book on Kindle is 99 cents this weekend only. Or get a free audio version or this or that. And it's like every post she does, no. Your followers want to see you behind the scenes. They want to see you writing. They want to see you engaging with your friends, with your family. They want to see we're going to talk about doing an Instagram takeover, which is where I give you my phone and you take over my account for a day. That's how I got a lot of my followers. So this is my friend Becky McIntosh. She's holding my book, I'm holding hers, and we're both pointing at each other. Again, it's not about always selling your stuff. It's about representing other authors within your genre that you can promote and giving them a shout out. Because then your followers and subscribers say, oh, he's not all about me, 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 me. He's about you, 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 and what can I bring to the table to others. Whenever I get vulnerable or have a nervous breakdown or start bawling my eyes out on social media, those are the ones that go viral. Because I'm relatable. And people are like, I've had days like that. And I did it where I accidentally hit post and I went to sleep and I said, I can't post that. And I said, cancel, but it went. And it blew up. And I'm like, what the heck? So again, make it about others, using social media to promote goodness, because so many people hide behind the negativity. So what is an Instagram takeover? A year ago this week, I did an Instagram for Siegel Bookstore, which is owned by Deseret in Utah. They have like 100 and something locations. This was what their marketing department made for me. The square box was for Instagram, and that rectangular thing was for marketing for my stories, to share it on my stories, to promote it. And what we were doing was we were giving away 10 copies of Izzy Nuts and 10 copies of Scripture Up, which is an affirmational journal I wrote. It's on the worst sellers list. I sold 88 copies. Seriously, can't explain it. This hardback though, and audio paperback, it continues to soar week after week, which is amazing. So I did an Instagram takeover for them, and what that is they give you your password, and you go live several times. And if you don't know how to go live, the best advice I can give you is practice now when you have no followers, because it's easy. Because it's like you're talking to yourself. Maybe you have your mom on there, your aunt logs on and says, oh, there's my friend, and just start rambling. Also, when I built my account, I made a goal for 6 months. Every day I went live on Instagram. But that was a lot of work because you got to prepare topics, you got to prepare, and we didn't have ChatGPT then. Right now I could say, like, I'm a Regency romance author. Can you come up with 30 Instagram Live ideas for me? and it would just ramble out a bunch of topics, and all I have to do is just say, okay, there's a topic, I can talk about that, I can talk about that. But back then, I had to really be creative and going, oh my gosh, what am I gonna go live for about tonight? And I don't know what to talk about. And then sometimes the 11th hour just come to me. And so you just have to be creative. Instagram takeovers are the best. Okay, the makings of an influencer, how to lay the foundation. We talked about this. You need to be consistent. You need to share substance. You need to be sure that you establish yourself as a resource or a thought leader within your field or your niche. So if you're a fiction writer, you want to make yourself as a thought leader within your fiction genre. If you are like Brian Judd, for example, who owns, who's an authority in book marketing, he didn't start out this way. He got, speaking engagements. He got creative in his thinking to say, I'm not going to do book signings anymore. That's a waste of my time. I'm going to do book events. That's genius. So think about yourself in this way. Okay, if you write fiction, this is a perfect example. This was taken at the Connecticut Authors and Publishers Association in 2014-ish, maybe, 2013. We had Kappa University, which was, you would come and spend the whole day, and God bless you, meet with literary agents, have lunch, hear from all the experts. So what did I do? I went up to all the agents and I said, 1, 2, 3, agents gone wild. Now, that woman in the green is my boss. I never saw myself as a literary agent, ever. But I left it, and she's also my agent. So when I sold my book in 2018, Is He Nuts? I called her and said, I sold the book, I need an agent. She goes, well, let's meet. That's an agent's dream. Because normally it's the other way around. We're out there slopping the pavement, trying to push your manuscript. But I did the opposite. So she became my agent for about a year and a half, and then she suggested I go to work for her. And so now, who would have ever thought? So if it wasn't for this organization, I wouldn't be where I am. But back in 10 years ago, I was thinking out of the box. I always wore the bow tie, the fun shoes, everything, the whole caboodle. And I go up there and I'm like, I want a picture with y'all. 1, 2, 3, agent's gone wild. I never thought she'd be my agent and now boss. So you never know. There's ways to make impressions, and I don't know how that just did that. Okay, how to establish yourself as a thought leader. Create valuable content. We basically discussed this. I'm gonna skip this and get to the nuts and bolts. So you want to follow, again, July 2019, I was speaking in Colorado Springs, Utah. No, Colorado, somewhere in Colorado. And that's the stolen book right there. And these elders were like, oh my gosh, is that Dennis? And they're like, yes. You're the one who stole, yes. And they're like, let's get a picture together. I want to send it to my moms and my parents, because they're going to be so excited that we met you. And so we did this whole thing, like, let's go wild. So it's about leaving impressions and developing your own thing. So like, Marie and I, that's my friend Al Caraway. She's got 250,000 followers on YouTube. That was a book signing a year ago this week at Deseret Books. That's the manager behind her. Of course, I pop in the selfie to be memorable. And this was speaking at Brigham Young University. Again, I'm like trying to do something, is he nuts? To get the attention, but it works. Fun shoes, the scarf, the bow tie. We had an author that would show up at the Big E to sign her books every year, and she would show up like a cowboy. She'd wear that, the apron and the hat and the bandana around her neck, and she'd be, howdy. We had another woman show up,
Is she from the Bronx?
No, she's from like Mystic, Connecticut or something, but it was her genre. Yeah, her stick. But I will never forget her. because I'll always remember her showing up looking like, what was that show? The Gong, not the Gong Show, but back in the 70s anyway. So, I'm dating myself. So you really want to, and I don't know why these people aren't going away quicker, and I don't know how those fireworks got there. So I just really need to, and now Al's bouncing and she's spinning. Okay, last slide. Finally, after 20 clicks, I'll have to have my assistant work on that because as you can tell, I built this, not my assistant. Okay, another memorable experience, and this is it. Excuse me, I'm getting dry, so I'm just going to take a sip. This is when I first met the president of the publishing company who acquired my book, Bryce Mortimer. He had followed me back when I had only 60 followers on Instagram. So he knew I was all about, he's like, let's take one to send to my wife. Let's go like this. He's never forgot who Dennis Schleicher is. So you see the consistency of like, it started in 2013 with the agents, and then it progresses 10 years. I was nobody in 2013. Now I can't land on the planet of Udall without people going, is that, you know, or secretly taking my photo or video. It's like hilarious. So you want to know your market. You want to build and establish yourself again, and I'm repeating myself because it's about wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. But you know how many times I could take, Kindle tells me what are the top 10 highlighted quotes, people that highlight in here. And I can take those and make quotes, and I can even make stories, or I can even do Instagram lives about it, or I can go live on YouTube about it. There are so many ways for you to find things within your genre that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to know how to have it work in your favor. And when you continue to do this, you can reap the rewards. Like myself, I charge $1,000 for a consulting, and that gives you 4 hours of my time to teach you basically what I just shared. So, I want to open this up to your questions. Because again, this is about more what I can do. Now, how did that go? Okay. I don't know how that collapsed. So, what are your questions? Yes?
Yeah, thank you very much, first of all. I think I heard you say something about a lady doing audiobooks on YouTube.
Yes, my friend Angela Johnson, which her name is so hard to find. When you type in Angela Johnson, she's impossible to find. You have to do like comma, Regency romance, comma, clean romance. I mean, it's like crazy to get her. She does her audiobooks on YouTube. She has about 10 books out, and each book is about 7 hours.
So does she slice parts of the book and put them on YouTube?
She does the whole 7-hour stint
On YouTube.
on YouTube. And she built from January 1st, it took her, with 3 audiobooks out at the time on YouTube, she qualified for the 4,000 watch hours before she had the 1,000 subscribers to
So
get
she
paid.
makes money by the people who advertise on it.
Yeah.
Like you said, 50 cents.
Every month YouTube pays her, it sends her a check, direct deposit. Just like they send all of us YouTubers. Yeah.
That sounds like something.
It's a deal, but it's consistency. And for me, it took several years to build that up.
And is it only an audio thing then? The people on YouTube aren't looking at it?
No, she has like some rolling meadows in the background for 7 hours, and that's it. But see, now YouTube is big on podcast.
Yes.
So you're able to put that into a podcast playlist, and you can listen to them chronologically.
So chapter by chapter as an example.
Yeah, makes it easier and by books. So yeah. So did I answer your question?
Completely.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, Dennis, great presentation, appreciate it. My book here, of Ashes and Dust, Apocalyptic Doomsday Thrill, is published by a traditional publisher, Astria, back in Las Vegas. And my publicist, based on 6 months, because the book was published right after Thanksgiving, and he had me get onto Facebook, which I had never done before, you know, to cross-promote.
Yes.
And pretty much exactly what you put up
Yes.
there on the screen. And like less than 2 weeks, it got thrown off for so-called violating a community standard.
Okay, so, yes.
They would never tell me what I did wrong, and the appeal process was nonsense because I
Okay.
couldn't get through.
So
what
this
do you
is
suggest?
what, that will happen. It's happened to a lot of people. People get hacked. This is why you gotta, I say, you know, you need to develop yourself as a thought leader because, and especially if you're not big on Instagram, on Facebook, that's where you didn't know the rules, and that's where you would need to hire like a manager to help you with that because
I did.
there are, yeah. So it's one of those things that happens unfortunately, but you got to, you know, be consistent about it. Even though you got booted off, you got to get back on.
How?
And if you have to create another profile, do it because you're starting from scratch.
Another email address.
Yeah. And then
Okay,
create.
if I don't get back on Facebook, what would you suggest? Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, or what?
I would go, honestly, I would go YouTube because that is a way for you to leave a legacy. It is out there forever and it's archived and it's the second largest search engine in the world. So when people Google, you know, literary agents, how to query an agent, how to interview an agent, I usually come up number one because I'm one of the only agents on YouTube that's actively promoting marketing and authors and giving advice to people, like when I'm open to queries, when I'm not open to queries, you know, and so I will come up number one in the search engines, in Google and YouTube, because I'm one of the few people that are doing it.
Yeah, no, one more thing. I had a YouTube video by Fiverr, you've heard of them, of course.
Yes,
Made up out in Israel, $225, and it's pretty good overall. And it's on YouTube. How do I maximize the visibility of that? You know,
if it's
already
on the person's account that made it, or is it on your own account?
It's on my account.
Okay.
It's a 1 minute and 8 second
Yeah.
video trailer to book.
But, well, so again, you wanna, maybe not necessarily marketing that, but doing but marketing yourself as a leader in your genre, talking about what inspired you to write the book, what inspired you to what was it like to get a publisher? What was your reaction when you got accepted with the publishing house? These are all things that people love, again, creating, use drama, conflict, closed
You
loop.
put that on YouTube.
Yeah, put that on YouTube. Because these are all things I think about when I'm creating presentation. Create curiosity, create intrigue. Because remember, with TikTok or TikTok or whatever, it's every 3 to 7 seconds. If they don't see something flying by there, you lost their attention. So you need to create conflict, open loops, drama, and curiosity, and close with a strong call to action. So, yes, over here.
So I've been considering doing a YouTube channel, and I'm stuck right at the beginning.
Yep.
What do I name it?
This is
It's gonna be my book, so do I use my book name? Do I use my own name?
I would use your own name for now, and you're allowed to change it once. So, meaning my handle is on YouTube, Dennis Schleicher 1, and I've left it at that because it's what they gave me. But you can change it to literary agent if you want, but you're only allowed to change it once. So that's why I would just name it like whatever you are in it, and don't hold off on it. So people think, is Instagram too late? Like, I didn't join Instagram until 2018, and look at where I am now. So that's something that, is YouTube too late? Absolutely not. This is the year to grow on YouTube. This is the year, this is what all the predictors are saying, is that all the millionaires that are up and coming are planned to start in 2023, 2024, building on YouTube. Because you just have to do it. Because so many people say, I want to, but then they're like, oh, my hair doesn't look good today, or I didn't put my makeup on, or whatever. So what? Just hit record from your phone. And so in the beginning on YouTube, I didn't strive for perfection. what I started doing was, instead of saving my Instagram lives on Instagram, where I wasn't making any money, I was downloading my lives and uploading them to a playlist to YouTube. And saying, oh, if you missed this live today, in a few weeks it'll be on my YouTube channel. And that's what I was doing, because I would spend an hour on Instagram Live. But I wasn't making any money, but now I make money because it's on YouTube. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just do it.
So, like in your page up there, you've got all these tabs, home videos, shorts, live, podcasts.
Yep.
Is that all content you created, or is that stuff you're sharing?
So yeah, well, this is the back end office, so this probably, you wouldn't see like the little manage videos or the little thing that has a little ups and downs, or the pencil. So for you, yes, you can add these later, but
And that's because I wouldn't have all that content
no.
to start on.
So then your bar wouldn't look like this. It would just look like a video, and maybe that's it. But we all gotta start somewhere.
Do you have any advice on the length of it?
First, start out slow or short, because you need to develop yourself as an expert or credible. And then upload the longer laters because you have that credibility relationship with your viewer, and they're more likely to watch it through the end.
So it's like a 30-second, 60-second, and then
Yep.
what's the
And then,
max?
it depends on, so if you go vertical, I would say 15 seconds. If you go horizontal, you are, well, you know what I meant. I'm dyslexic, so forgive me. You can go up to like 2.5 minutes, but keep it like I am with the phone this way, you know.
I'm sorry, I looked down.
Yeah,
Which
like
is
you want to keep it
Horizontal.
horizontal, thank you.
horizontal.
Yeah, and that's, but if you're doing a short, those little reels, you have to hold it vertical. So it all depends, you know, on what, it's kind of crazy because it shows up differently. Like you see the middle video, that's an Instagram Live. The one on the right and the one on the left where I'm at the farm with the towel get up, that was recorded where it was horizontal. So, but the Instagram Live, I can only do vertical. So you see how it's missing all that real estate? Now, if I was really professional at this, I would do a fancy thumbnail and have it over that. But I don't. I download it, no edits, upload. Create the title, the description, that's it. Yes?
So I'm guessing that when you went to Brigham Young,
Yes.
you're talking to all these young people about what it's like to be a gay man
Yep.
and be a Christian.
Yes.
Now, how many of those young people, and granted, you got a speaking fee for being there,
Yep.
but how many of those young people, after your talk, went out and bought your book?
A lot. I would say it's a higher percentage than normal
Right,
because again, I'm a niche.
right,
And how many people are, when everyone's leaving the church over this issue
right.
and I'm joining,
No, right.
that's a huge,
Right.
but so I get a higher percentage than normal because, so you can't gauge what I do with what other people do.
Sure.
Because I just, yeah, and to, yes and no to the speaking fees. You be you, I get fees. Brigham Young, no, because it's a Christian school. So it's all volunteered, unless you're on the staff. So that unless I'm speaking at the Marriott, like the Civic Center there, it's called the Marriott Center, then that would be a speaking fee. But when I speak for the psychology department stuff, no, that's all volunteer. So yeah, but that's why, but if I speak at Harvard or Yale,
Right.
no, there's a fee.
Okay.
So you just need to, it depends, and that's something I wish I knew before I was creating my career path, but you learn and you grow,
Sure.
and I'm learning from it. So, you had a question?
I did. Specific to Instagram, you talk about consistency.
Yes.
How many times are you posting daily on Instagram, and what are you posting?
So-
Posts.
So now, so Instagram started, they used to pay anybody with 10,000 plus followers to post reels. And I used to make anywhere from $100 to $1,000 a month just by posting reels. And then as of March, they got rid of that. So didn't TikTok do that because they were trying to compete against each other. And so what ended up happening, in the beginning, I was posting about once a day. And then when I was in my growth momentum phase, I was doing about twice a day. But I was trying to drive people to my stories, which only last for 24 hours and they evaporate. And so right now, a story averages about 3,000 to 4,000 views I get from a story. So I'm kind of happy with that. I've slowed down my posting to about maybe 3 times a week. But one thing I'm big on is collaboration. Instagram allows you to collaborate with other authors. So that means you show up where it would show up like my friends at Declare My Word. They have 200,000 or 400,000 followers, and then you take my followers with it, and whenever we do a collaboration together, it shows up as a collaboration. So it will show you like this. So I did not expect the volume to be on. It will say Dennis Schleicher and Declare My Word. And so therefore, that's how you get followers too, is find other people in your genre that you can collaborate with. And by doing that, you show up in their feed with your name and vice versa. And that's a huge way of building it. Instagram takeovers, find it like, I would be so honored if somebody said, can I take over your Instagram account for a day? Yes, it's yours, because I don't have to do it. And all you're doing is just hyping it through stories and things like that and going live a few times. That's it. So, did I answer your question?
So are you having more success now with stories or posts?
Post. But but you gotta balance it because it's an algorithm. I say you're sifting for gold. You have 2 buckets. You have a right hand, you have a left hand. You're constantly sifting because you need to find that nugget. And then when you find that nugget in your right hand, next day the algorithm changes, so you gotta look for it in the left. But you're constantly sifting. But as authors, I'm sorry, I'll get to that next one in a second. You literally have everything at your fingertips. You just have to take it and put it into a story form and share it on social media. And that will attract people to follow you because they'll see you as that expert. Sorry, go ahead.
You haven't spoken much about hashtags. Have you had success with them? Which ones
Absolutely.
have you used? How many?
Absolutely. So there's a whole algorithm for that, and I'm sorry I didn't go over that, but it's a little confusing. So it's broken up into thirds. So if you do 9 hashtags, what I do is I find a hashtag that has over 1 million, 3 hashtags that have like 1 million hashtags used, which would be like love, okay? And then then you want to find a middle grade hashtag, which has like 50,000 or less. And then you want to find a hashtag that has, 2,000 or less. And you don't want to find a hashtag like your name that has none, because that won't get you anywhere. Nobody knows who you are. The same, I'm not going to put my name in the description of my real estate for my video, because people aren't Googling Dennis Schleicher at the time. That's your prime real estate. This is a marketing workshop for writers, how to build social media. I'm not going to say bye Dennis Schleicher, because you only get 100 characters. So you want to use your real estate wisely. So it all depends on, okay, so the hashtag, so what you want to do is ultimately rank in one of those. So like if you type in hashtag LDS, I will come up in the top 10.
Hashtag what?
LDS, Latter-day Saint. So I'll come up with the top 10 of the feed on Instagram. If you type in missionaries, I'll come up. BYU, I'll come up. And so that's because I'm ranking, that Instagram's pushing me out there. But they're also suggesting me to more people because they're seeing that I deliver. And that I have that engagement with my subscribers and friends. Yes. switch it up a little, because you don't want to be banned for overusing something, and that's, like, Facebook is notorious for this.
But they won't even let me know what I
They
did.
won't.
And the appeal process was
Yeah.
you.
They
No-
won't.
There's no telephone to call
No.
customers or nothing.
No, but see, so now that I have the blue badge on my Instagram account, I do have more access. And okay, that's the blue check mark next to Dan Schleicher. You see the blue check mark? That means that I've been verified, but you have got to have, like, you have got to be on the cover of Forbes, like USA Today, and we could, you know, there's a thing called earned media. You have to have earned media. You know, they look to see if you have a Wikipedia page, if people are talking about you. Because are you somebody that could be hacked? Meaning, are you somebody like a reporter, a credible source, a celebrity, a journalist? Those are people that need to have the blue check mark. And so when you look back to a year ago, I didn't have it. See, I just had the little red thing next to my, I don't even know what that number is. But now it's this way with the blue, you know he's verified. I had to send a picture of my driver's license to Instagram. I had to, you know, verify other names, aliases. They do background check. It's like really serious. Then you got to do another one where you're holding your driver's license. You know, it's just the verification process was daunting, to say the least. Well, I want to thank you. I value your time, and I want to thank you for valuing mine. And I am so excited that you attended this. If you need to rewatch this, it will be in a playlist called Authors on my YouTube channel, which is not up there anymore. So thank you.